In the last episode, I talked about the signals individuals send, specifically the word they and what it reveals about how someone will behave when the situation becomes rough or something important is at stake. But the organizations have their language patterns too. And the gap between what is being said officially and what is actually happening operationally is the one of the most consistent features I have seen. And today I want to talk about where this gap shows up most visibly. The place we all have been countless times, the all hands meeting. I worked for a British company once. The CEO was Dutch. And in every all hands meeting, he said essentially the same thing. We're here to make money for the shareholders. That is the purpose of this organization, and everything else serves this purpose. I found it genuinely refreshing, honest, and in my opinion, it was inspirational because there was no gap between what he was saying and why the organization existed. The communication and the operational reality were pointing at exactly the same thing. He never said, we're the family. He never said, we're here to make the world a better place. He said what was true from business standpoint and trusted his employees to be adults about it. And he actually proved he meant every word. When this company was eventually sold to a large American corporation, he negotiated an excellent terms for both shareholders and employees. But a lot of large organizations work very differently. We are a family. Our most important asset is our people. Nothing is more important than the well being of our employees. These phrases are everywhere. They are time tested motivational techniques, and they work. Otherwise, they wouldn't be used. But there is a limit to how far the metaphor holds. Large companies are not families. Families do not have thousands of members. You don't fire your brother, and you don't quit your mom. And repeated too often, they become background noise. Something like, how are you doing? A ritual everybody uses, but nobody expects an answer to. One experience made it very concrete for me. A few days before a regular all hands meeting, all managers in our organization received a directive to identify 5% of our respective teams to be managed out during the year. The official reason was overall performance improvement, but the message was pretty clear. It is a headcount reduction. By the way, nothing unusual about that. It does happen in some shape or form in any organization at some point. And then came all hands meeting. Thousands of people online and in person, and the usual messaging. We are a family, we're all in this together. I didn't pay close attention. These meetings rarely have any breaking news, and once the meeting ended, I went back to work and forgot about all of it. A little while later, a member of my team walked into my office visibly upset, almost crying. In the beginning, I thought that something had happened at home and she needs help, but that wasn't it. She explained what got her that upset. The contradiction between the messaging in all hands meeting, we are a family, and the manage out directive she received a few days earlier. How both could be true at the same time. I was genuinely surprised. In my mind, these two things were completely separate, like weather forecast and board meeting agenda. Both are real, both happening in the same time, but they are not designed to correlate or influence each other. So the contradiction she was experiencing wasn't real for me. So I explained it to her. These two things are completely separate and unrelated. The whole hands meeting was a motivational theater. The manage out directive was a structural reality. She was surprised. She had never thought about this way, and I was surprised that she was surprised because I made an assumption that anyone in a managerial position would naturally see the distinction. But this assumption was wrong, and it matters because the motivational game and the operational game run on completely different logic and serve completely different purposes. The motivational channel is designed to create an alignment, engagement, and a sense of shared identity. The operational channel is designed to serve business outcomes. They're both real, they're both legitimate, they're simply not designed to correlate because sometimes business outcomes require a sense of shared identity and sometimes they don't. And confusing them and applying the rules of one to the situation governed entirely by another, this is what gets people blindsided and evidently upset. Not because the company is dishonest or hypocritical, because nobody explains that these two games are separate and running simultaneously. Every organization runs a motivational channel and an operational channel at the same time. Learning how to read them independently rather than expecting one to explain the other is one of the most practical skills you can develop. If any of this resonates, leave a comment or drop me a line. I'll be happy to reply and discuss. And if you are dealing with something which doesn't fully make sense, book a free discovery call on my website. It is a real conversation. Just you and I looking at your specific situation, figuring out what is exactly going on. Please subscribe to my YouTube channel and follow me on X so you don't miss the next episode. See you in the next one.